All right. Welcome everybody to our live stream information session about Camp Ben Frankel Online. We are really excited to have you join us and have you check us out. We are gonna keep this we're gonna keep this to about 30 minutes and really work our way through this real quickly. So stick around. You're going to learn all about Camp Ben Frankel Online. You're going to learn about some of the people who've been planning it, the activities. This is perfect for anyone, parents, interested campers, teens, elementary age, and we'll answer your questions. And stick around if you like, and pop them in the chat, and we'll answer any questions that you have. So let me introduce myself. I am Aaron Hadley. I am the director at Camp Ben Frankel. I am a second generation camper of Camp Ben Frankel, and I was a counselor in the 90s as well. After about a 20-year hiatus, I came back in 2017 as the director, and I have a background in nonprofit management and summer camp management. So I'm really excited to be here and to share with you about Camp Ben Frankel Online. I am also really excited to introduce you to Camp Ben Frankel's assistant director, Sarah. We're going to spotlight her now. And Sarah, hi, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sarah Sherritt-Holborn, and I'm the assistant director at Camp Ben Frankel. I also grew up at Camp Ben Frankel like Aaron. I went there as a camper, then a counselor, and I'm so happy to be back now as the assistant director. I am also an attorney, so I balance those two roles, and it's amazing.
All right, you will hear more from Sarah soon. Let me tell you a little bit about Camp Ben Frankel's overnight camp. We've been around for more than 70 years serving Jewish kids. Our overnight campsite is located a couple hours outside of St. Louis, Missouri in southern Illinois. Of course, that's not what we're here to talk to you about today. We're here to talk about Camp Ben Frankel Online, a place that was created to help make sure that in this summer where everything is a little bit different, that we still have a way for campers, for kids to have fun, to have this joyful experience to look forward to, especially at a time when so many things have been canceled and taken away, and a place for friendships, new friendships and old friendships, a place to have a really great Jewish experience and to connect to Israel. And also we figure that in a summer without any structure, when our options are limited, it's healthy to have a little bit of routine in a healthy way, just a little bit, to give us an idea of where we're going to go. Now, a few things, some basic things to know is that Camp Ben Frankel Online is for kids who've just finished 2nd through 10th grades. And we are going to be offering weekly sessions beginning June 22nd. We're going to initially have 4 one-week sessions. And so we've designed this to be super flexible so that anybody can try it out really easily. And we understand that an online camp is a very new thing, and people are a little unsure about it maybe at first until they try it. So we want to make it easy to try. And the program is designed to be great for anybody to come for multiple weeks or just to try it out for 1 week. You'll note that if you've got maybe multiple kids at home or siblings, each child will have their own account and they'll need their own login and they'll need their own device to access it. And then we group everybody into online cabins with other kids their age and their same gender. So more on that in a little bit. But first, you've met me and you've met our assistant director, but I want to bring up a guest here in a moment. We realize that what we're doing is so new and so different that for people to sort of wrap their heads around online camp, maybe it takes a little while. And what better way to help understand what it's like than to hear from someone who's tried it. So we're going to bring up Emily. So we're going to spotlight Emily. I think I need to stop my screen share. So now there we go. So we're going to spotlight Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
So Emily is a graduate of our counselor training program from last year, which means that last year, technically, she was a camper and is no longer a camper. She'll be a staff member this summer, but she was one of the first group of people who tested Camp Ben Frankel Online, the full schedule, and that happened just not too long ago. So Emily, would you mind just introducing yourself and then maybe just telling us a little bit about maybe some of the reservations you had about this and then what it was like after you had tried it?
Yeah, so my name is Emily. This summer will be my 10th summer at camp. So I've been going since 2011. I'm currently living in California, and next year I will be going into a 12th grade in high school. So as a longtime camper, I think that my biggest concern regarding camp is like, because I knew LT, I knew that you guys were going to like try your absolute hardest to make the best of what this could be. But I wasn't sure if that camp feeling was still possible through an online platform. But after testing it, just after that first day, after doing even like a test with the counselors, I knew that it worked. The friendships and the bonds that I made on that first day and then continued into the second day of testing were so real. I was put into a group that was, since I'd never been on staff, I was put into a group with other staff members who, it was sort of a unique group. We hadn't done like a whole ton of activities and things like that together. And I was still even a little bit nervous to go onto this online platform. But as soon as we did like our first cabin activity together, it was like all that nervousness just went away. And we immediately started connecting on these levels that I didn't know were still possible with this online platform. But it shows that like we are still here. We have still showed up as a community together, and we are still here to totally support each other. And additionally, like another concern that I had was sort of the screen time that was going to be spent all throughout the summer, instead of, being outside, like sort of like how you should be in summer and how we would be at camp. But the difference between, there's a difference between having this sort of screen time where we're bonding with our friends, and then the screen time where we're just sitting at home, like watching TV or Netflix or something like that. So it comes to a point in the camp day, in the camp testing day, where it doesn't even feel like you're on the screen anymore because you're just talking to your friends. And that was so amazing. That was great. So I feel so confident, and I'm so excited about camp this year.
Thanks so much, Emily. I mean, you are, what better way, again, than to hear from someone who's tried it, like Emily. And as Emily mentioned, what we learned through our testing was, because I think we had a lot of the same concerns about screen time and fatigue, and was this going to be a problem? And what we found was, well, if you're laughing and you're having fun and you're socializing, because it's interactive, the time flies. And that's what we've heard time and time again from the campers who've tried it out, and all the staff who've tested it out as well. But you keep hearing about this platform. Maybe we should show you a little bit about what we're talking about. So next up, I'm going to do another screen share here and show you what it looks like to actually log in and experience it from the point of view of a camper or a participant. So in a moment, I'll hit play. And what I want you to notice is that when there's a participant viewing their screen, when they're at Camp Ben Frankel Online, we have a schedule throughout the day of different activities. And sometimes you're with your cabin group and sometimes you're with a different group. And the platform we're using, which is called Click to Camp, it actually takes you from activity to activity. And you'll notice that there's this little countdown that'll happen, and then it'll say you're going to the next activity, and then it'll take you to another place. So let's show you what it's like.
We're gonna fold it as follows. Bye guys.
So there, you saw how simple it is to move from scheduled activity to scheduled activity. And the other great advantage of this is how simple it is. Each camper, each participant gets one link for the week. They all only have to go back to that one link, no matter what. Like if they close their browser window or they turn off their device and they need to come back later, they just go back to that one link. They click that one link, and it takes them wherever they should be in the schedule at that point in time. It's really simple. Now, let's talk a little bit, just more globally about the experience. So again, we wanted it to be really flexible so people can sign up 1 week at a time. And then if you've got other summer plans or you just want to try it out once because you're not sure how it's going to be, you just try it out for a week. And then if you like it, you can sign up for more. Campers are placed into a cabin with other campers their age. They have counselors just like at camp, and they hang out with that counselor and those camper group, which we call a cabin. They hang out together throughout the day, both at the beginning in the morning and at the end of the day in the afternoon. And in between, there's these two elective activities. You'll hear more about those a lot, and you'll hear more about the schedule soon. But everything is interactive and it's fun and it's facilitated by highly trained staff. And then there's these cool guests and experiences, which you'll hear about. And so rather than me just telling you about them, let's bring up another guest. We're going to bring up Gizmo, because we have funny camp names at our camp for the staff. So we all have funny camp names. My camp name's H. This is Gizmo. So Gizmo, would you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My real name is Ben, but at Camp Ben Frankel, I go by Gizmo. I've been going to Camp Ben Frankel for 11 years now, 6 of which I've spent as a staff member. And then during the regular semester, I go to the University of Missouri studying music composition, and this year I will be a senior.
Now, you've been helping develop our activities, which has been a process we've been reimagining and reinventing summer camp in order to make it work online. And so you've been part of this process. And I know every step of the way we've said that the activities have to be fun and interactive, and they have to help kids stay social and connect with friends. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the activities that you've been working on?
Yeah. So a lot of the programming that I have been focusing on really relies on design and creativity. Just to name a few, one, campers will be working together to build a newspaper where they're going to, make up stories and do interviews with each other. Another one is called Design Lab, where campers will be designing t-shirts, which they will possibly be able to buy. More information coming on that one later. But the one I want to talk about the most is this as a music program that's called Creating Music with Gizmo. As I mentioned before, I am a music composition major. I love doing it, and I started at a pretty early age. And so it's my goal to get campers interested in music composition, notation programs, so they can begin composing their own music. It's available for all ages, and you don't need any musical background whatsoever. I started writing with no music theory, whatever. I was just putting notes in the program and figuring out what sounded best, and now I'm here now. And so that's the one I'm really excited about, because it's going to get campers getting creative. It's going to give campers a way to express themselves, and it's just going to be the coolest thing.
Now, one thing that's been really, really amazing is that we've been having lots of new campers that have been registering for Camp Ben Frankel Online, and these campers live all over the country. In fact, some of these campers live in other countries and on other continents, and as long as they make the time work, they can attend. It's really amazing. And so with new campers coming, maybe if there's somebody out there who's considering coming for the first time, and maybe they want to know what it's like for new kids, could you tell us why you think a new camper might feel welcome and might like coming to Camp Ben Frankel Online?
Absolutely. And I have 3 ways that I want to answer this question, so bear with me, because I think this is something that's really, really important to talk about. The first one is as a former camper. I started going to Camp Ben Frankel when I was going into the 6th grade, and I was a new camper then. And it was kind of weird. I saw, who's now my best friend, on the bunk, and I was like, who's this kid? And then within a month, I was coming back home, singing camp songs and telling mom and dad, my sister has to come, who you just met, Emily, and saying, Camp Ben Frankel is where I'm going to be. And now the people who are in that cabin are my best friends for life. So within a year, I had new best friends. Not like, oh, we're close, like best friends ever. And throughout the years, as more people came into our cabin, I got more best friends. We still talk all the time, and I know that those are bonds that will, I will carry with me well into life. The second way I want to answer that question is as a staff member. Last year, we had quite a few new staff members, and the Camp Ben Frankel community and culture welcomes all new people, and that definitely showed this summer. Now there are people who started going to Camp Ben Frankel last year who I just could not imagine without. Like, they are a part of the Camp Ben Frankel community. It is really important to have them, and that type of mindset and culture absolutely translated into the camper experience. I have the personal experience to say that. We have the numbers to say that. I don't want to say something that's not true because I don't have it on me, but our return rates are getting higher because campers want to come back because they feel included. And then the third way I want to address that is through Camp Ben Frankel Online. I don't know if you've mentioned this yet, H, spoiler alert if you haven't, but campers are going to be able to sign up week by week. So every week we might have new campers in our cabin. And so we are being trained to make sure that every week campers feel included. One thing about our programming, not only are we planning our programming, but we are planning the icebreakers. We're not just coming up with them, like they're planned into the program to make sure that campers always feel included, to make sure that, we are always welcoming them, because this is something that we are going to be doing every single week, and we are good at it, but we are also preparing even more for it because we're good at that stuff. That's my answer. That's my field. Don't have the best sentence to end it with like some punchy one-liner or anything. End speech.
No punchy one-liner needed. Talking from your heart and really sharing some just great information and beautiful stories too. So thank you. Thanks, Gizmo. And part of what he was talking about, you heard him mention these best friends from being in the same cabin. And we know that for summer camp, the kids and the counselors that you live with, that you're placed with in a cabin, that's your family, that's your tribe. And those connections are the core. They are the foundation of camp. They're where you connect and you build these relationships, these friendships. And one thing that was imperative to us as we were creating the online summer camp experience was to still ensure that we were able to do and make the cabin experience feel true. So it's one thing for us to tell you about it. It's another thing for us to show you. So we're going to bring on another guest here. We're going to bring back Sarah, our assistant director. And Sarah's we're going to watch a clip of a cabin activity, and she's going to help us understand what we're going to watch. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, H. Yeah, absolutely. So as we talked about at camp, one of the most important parts of camp is your cabin community and just having fun and being silly with your cabin. So what you're about to see is a clip from a test day of Camp Ben Frankel Online. You'll notice everyone participating is a staff member, but imagine this group being campers, being your children, and how much fun we're having. This was the girls' staff cabin. And earlier in the week, we had started writing some jokes to Sond about Twizzlers and Taylor Swift. So when we were challenged to come up with a cabin cheer, we, obviously to us, wrote a cheer about Twizzlers. And this is it's something really silly and fun. And I will tell you, everyone on the screen, we were not best friends before this day, but we got a lot closer and just had a lot of fun together. So enjoy.
T is for totally telephonic times together.
W is for when we will win with whatever.
I is for is it interesting?
Z is for zesty zippy news.
Z is for zippity zany zebras.
You're muted. You're muted.
Muted.
L is for live, laugh, love.
E is for entertaining each other every day.
R is for really rad, random, recreational randoming.
S is for super sorry South African nurses.
We are.
How awesome is that? So just imagine you come to Camp Ben Frankel Online, you join a cabin group with other friends, and you're laughing and you're enjoying these shared experiences and creating these memories. And even though it's online, it still feels special and magical because it's together and it's silly, and that's part of the magic of camp. So just imagine you or your camper enjoying some fun like that. Now, we talked about the activities, and there's so many activities to talk about. We want to bring back another guest, another member of our planning team. His name is Joel in the real world, and his camp name is Dude. So if we can spotlight Dude.
Hello.
Hi there, Dude. You mind introducing yourself?
Not at all. My name is Joel Hadley, and at camp I go by Dude. I help handle a lot of our sports activities and am also helping out with different campers based on age range.
So tell us about some of the activities that you've been helping to develop and to test.
Sure. So being tasked with helping develop a lot of the sports and athletics, it's been a challenge, but really exciting. We found ways to create interactive activities that kids can actually sign up for and get physical fitness in. They can interact with viral video creation. So one of those that we're working on is based off of Dude Perfect, if you're familiar with that trick shot YouTube channel. So shout out to those guys for doing something really clever and fun. We found ways to interactively play catch, whether it's me having a ball and I chuck it at your camera and it comes right back at you. We have ways to play catch on screen, interact on screen, and then by the end of an activity, you now have a shareable video and really shareable funny moment between your friends that you can then post to your own social if you prefer to, or just keep to yourself as an inside joke. But these are highly curated, very interactive and engaging, so that way nobody's just sitting on their hands bored. That's the opposite of what we're looking for. And then we're creating, as I said, these shareable videos and moments. So these are just about spreading that laughter. We're working on fitness activities so kids can actually get exercise if they so choose to sign up for. So we have a bunch of activities to sign up for.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, you have worked with all ages at camp. You've worked with elementary school, junior high, high school. So based on your experience in this wide range of age groups that you've worked with, can you tell us why you think all these different ages would still, no matter what age you are, like why you think they would still enjoy Camp Ben Frankel Online?
Absolutely. I think anybody will enjoy Camp Ben Frankel Online, from the youngest age camper to the oldest camper to the staff who are there leading activities to the parents who might be sitting in and enjoying a camp activity and watching their child interact. These are very much created for age ranges spanning all of camp. So whether you're a new camper who's 7 or 8 years old, who's never been to camp before, you're going to make a bunch of new friends using fun interactive icebreakers and get to know you team building activities. Or you've been at camp for many years like Ben or Emily, you're going to come in and feel a sense of community and belonging. I've had the fortunate privilege of working with our youngest age campers all the way up to the oldest age group of campers. And it's Camp Online is a beautiful thing where you might get tired watching a Netflix show or something like that on your screen. When you see a smiling face that's familiar or new that's interacting with you, that smile can share through the camera and you can feel the camp ruach, the energy. So I think this is very much curated for kids of all ages.
Awesome. Thanks, Dude. Yeah, he's talking about how if it's interactive, then it's, it keeps you engaged and that's part of how that time flies, versus if it's just passive, if you're just sitting back and enjoying it or watching something like TV. So let's talk a little bit about these activities. Here's a sample list. We have been very carefully building and creating activities over the last couple of months. And we're constantly adding more. The goal, again, is that these activities are fun and that they're interactive and that you still have an opportunity to connect socially. And so what you might notice is that there's a lot of different things here. We're constantly adding more, But one of the special opportunities that we have when we're doing Camp Online is that we can produce recordings of videos or audio, and that the campers at the end of the week can get something that they created. So whether that's a podcast or a video of the play that they wrote, or highlight clips of their sports announcing or of their improv, or some of the designs that they created, like you heard about, or compositions or musical recordings, they can get all these things. And so we're constantly unlocking more of the opportunities and potential that we have to not just have fun, but to do cool things together. So that's part of what you'll get at Camp Online. Now, we want to bring back Sarah to walk us through a little bit of our camp schedule. I know there's a lot to look at here, so don't worry. There's more on our website, but Sarah, could you kind of walk us through, the camp schedule for Camp Online?
Absolutely. So as Aaron said, you can check out the entire schedule on our website and have time to look at it a little more in depth. But what you'll see if you look at the color coding is that there's time each day for cabin time. That's that blue color. Every day we have cabin time in the morning and in the afternoon. Campers participate in activities and just have that fun hangout, icebreaker, team building time with their cabins. You also have a morning and an afternoon elective activity. That's that yellow color. So campers are picking 2 activities each day, and those activities run the full week. And then we also have times, you'll see those in green, where the whole camp is together, whether we're singing or just having a transition time for a couple minutes and moving around, doing jumping jacks, or having some kind of chill out time during lunch. It's really interactive, and it's a really nice balance of cabin time, elective time, and all camp time. We have 2 hours in the morning of activities, 2 hours in the afternoon, and the lunch break in the middle of the day is a time for campers to get lunch, obviously, and then to either take some time away from the computer if they want, or to join and participate in conversations with campers, kind of like you would have when you're just all sitting around the table eating lunch. So check out more, and back to you.
Thanks, SK. Now, you've heard from a camper from last year. You've heard from some of our counselors. You've heard from some of our senior leadership, and let's talk a little bit about the registration. So tuition is $199 per week, which is 80% less than the cost of our overnight tuition. And maybe you're wondering, like, I've noticed that there's a lot of free camp stuff or online stuff out there. Like, why should I pay $199 to come to online camp? And so, part of the reason is because we think that it's really important to get a high quality experience, and for it to be personalized, for you to have a highly trained counselors and these really great high quality, high level activities. And so those things, the tuition funds basically almost completely help us hire these great counselors for the summer. And that's part of why also the cost is so much more, 80% less than the cost of our overnight camp, because it's just a different structure. But this allows us to run these activities on this schedule every day, and to make sure that there's always these dedicated counselors who are just phenomenal people. Now, we also understand this is new, and we want to make it easy for people to try. So the first week of Camp Ben Frankel Online is available for $99 with this promotional promo code TRYIT2020. And any campers that come for 2 weeks or more, they get a camp shirt, and they can earn a year towards our 5-year and 10-year honor. That's a big deal within our tradition at camp. And then campers that come for 4 weeks or more will get an exclusive, high quality, really nice camp hoodie. Make sure to, if you want to register, head to our website, www.campbenfrankel.org. Don't forget that. If you still have questions, you can just we have a Zoom info session that you can RSVP to through our website, where you can get your questions answered directly from us, or you can invite any friends. Do you know somebody who might want to try it out, or who might want to learn some more? You can send them our way. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for following and watching, and we really, really, really hope to see you. Campers are registering like crazy for Camp Ben Frankel Online, and we hope that you join them. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much.